Right, so hey guys, this is Luke here from South Coast Buses, and today for my 500 subscriber special, which I'm finally doing, it's going to be a tour of Emsworth and Districts E&D Yard. There's lots of old stuff here, so thought we may as well have a look around. I'm joined by Tom.
Hi.
He's with me. He owns the Titan that's over there, and my friend Nathan is somewhere on another bus. So what should we look at first? Should we go and look at N5? Okay, change plan, we're going to look at 452 first. So this is new to yellow buses at Bournemouth, and then was sold on to Emsworth and Districts where they used it as a school bus. Then unfortunately its engine and gearbox went, so it's just withdrawn and just kind of left here to rot, as you can see. I pulled a few parts off of it. There's a tractor, but this is a bus channel, so let's talk about the buses. I don't really want to go onto it because it's been sat here for so long and there's like stuff dumped inside of it, so yeah, it's a shame that this thing was withdrawn. Apparently it's quite a nice bus. Right, so we're going to N5 next. So this was new to Stagecoach London, where it operated. What routes did it operate?
Dagenham, Romford sort of way.
Yeah, Dagenham kind of Romford route. Then it was transferred to Stagecoach South, where it operated for a while, and then it was sold on to Brighton Tours, where they operated it on various routes, and unfortunately they went under. And then at that point it was sold on to Xella, where they operated it on routes X9 quite a bit, and then just kind of sold it on again. Then whoever bought it dumped it. It was then taken to Full Flood Road, where it was just kind of stuck there for a while, and then nothing happened with it. No one bothered paying for it and stuff like that, whereas eventually just donated to Emsworth and District recently, and they haven't really done anything with it. It's just kind of been sat here the whole time. I think they're planning on ripping the engine and gearbox out of it. If not, it'll go into preservation. It does actually sound quite nice, this one, from memory. But yeah, it's a shame that this thing's going, because it is a nice bus and it's not in bad nick. If I show you the bodywork, it's all fairly straight. Yeah, it'll be a shame to see the engine and gearbox get ripped out. It'd be nice for this to go into preservation. So next one we'll go on to is this. It's ex-Bournemouth Yellow Buses W681TNV. This one was in service. I don't think it's technically withdrawn, but its engine's gone pop, so it's definitely not going anywhere for a while. I think a couple of weeks ago it sent out with no oil in it, and yeah, you can kind of imagine what happened there. It's not actually in bad nick, this one. It's a Denstar SLF, pretty standard stuff, Allison gearbox. I've got a video of this one on my channel before it went bang. Yeah, it's just kind of sat here at the minute, doing nothing. I imagine it will be fixed eventually. If not, they'll probably become a parts donor for some other buses. This is ex-Epsom Buses D602 RGJ. Yeah, it's a Bedford YNT. Then it was sold on to Emsworth and Districts, where I believe it was used for both service work and coach work for a while. It's got an old Plaxton badge. Kirby, whatever the hell that is. I think it's some coach dealer that they bought it off of. I'm just going to stick my phone in so you can see the interior. It's a bit of a mess. From what I can understand, this has been sat here for a few years, so it's just been left to rot, this thing. It's a shame no one bought it, really, because from what I've heard, it is a nice bus. This here is some old Bedford coach 204. Don't really know anything about this. If you know anything, just tell me in the comments. I know it has a ZF gearbox, that's about it. And it's not too bad inside either. I can give you a quick peek of what it's like inside. Yeah, as you can see, it's not actually too bad in here. This is definitely a good candidate for preservation, because it's quite tidy, and from what I understand, these old Van Halls are pretty rare buses. So this here is OUC 45R. It's an ex-London Daimler fleet line, and that was preserved. It's part of the preserved fleet of Emsworth and Districts, but there are quite a few issues with corrosion, which I can show you now. If you look up the back, the bodies seem to have a lot of corrosion issues. If you look there, that's all corrosion. So yeah, I don't think they bothered with it in the end. And the roof's covered in mould. Yeah, it's a shame, because they've done it all up and then it just had this big issue of corrosion, so they pretty much gave up on it. It's been left here since. This here next to it is L452 UEB. You can't really see much of it. It literally has no engine or gearbox. It's one of 5 that was dual dart lines, as it started off as, and then finished off by Marshall. But as you can see, there is no engine in this thing at all. and this thing's been left to rot as well. It's weird because it was all painted up, but there are actually no photos of this at all out in service, so I don't know whether they've done it up and then were going to put it out, or what happened really, or if it went wrong, or they just decided to use it for parts in the end. But yeah, it's crashed into the Titan as well. No, well, the Titan rolled into it by the looks of what happened. But yeah, it's a shame because this is one of only 5, and now there's probably 0 of them left. It wouldn't surprise me. This here is T883, owned by Tom here. But yeah, it's a ex-London Transport Leyland Titan, then was lately in service with Stagecoach. It came new with the Leyland TL11 engine, and then was lately re-engined to the Gardner 6XLB. And it's owned by 3 different people, but Tom's the one that's mainly down here. And yeah, it's just entered preservation. It needs some work, obviously, like any bus fresh in preservation will, but inside it's actually quite a nice bus. It's just more outside that it needs work doing to it. It's got the old hydrocyclic, is it 4-speed in this one? 5-speed gearbox with automatic on it as well. It's an automatic mode, so you can just kind of whack it in that and drive it, or you can drive it in semi-auto, whatever you prefer. Yeah, it's quite a nice bus, this one. I think I have a tour video of 829, the other one that Emsworth had. But yeah, it's a nice bus, that's for sure. So we'll go and look at some other things now. Yeah, if you ever wanted to see what the cab looked like, that's the cab. Unfortunately you can't start it, and if you want to look at the guys that are preserving it, just search this up on Facebook and it should come up. Yeah, and it's also got that one here, which is quite cool to see. Now this is J524GCD, another one that's entering preservation. Another ex-Stagecoach Dart, that one's also an ex-Stagecoach Dart, that one's K556NHC. These are both pretty much the same. Same engine, same gearbox, so I'll just quickly show you around 524. This one's soon to be in preservation. It needs work doing to it visually, but it runs fine with a battery boost connected because our batteries are fried. And I'll show you what I mean our batteries are fried. They've leaked, so yeah, and they don't hold any charge at all, so they need to be replaced. There's the old Bright-Tech Destinations in it, flip dot, I think they're broken as well. But I believe we're getting some Hanover ones for free. So as I was saying, here is 556. Not going to show you around that because it's basically the same as the other one. However, I will close the doors because it's been left open. Now this here is X-First 42802. It started off life with Trushonian and Devon. Then when first took them over, it was taken over to First and then done the Eden project on the number plate Y2EDN. Then it was taken over by Sataro Arctics, where this was put into standard First livery and used in service for a while. This is one of the last year or two darts first used in service, and then was bought by Emsworth and Districts along with 641, which is there and has been painted. This thing hasn't had anything done to it yet, but I imagine it will do eventually. So here's the interior of 642. As you can see, it's quite different. It's got a carpeted roof, the single strip of lights, and it's got back-to-back seating in it at the front, which is a weird but nice seating layout. I quite like it. It's also got a little TV up there, which is different. Some kind of information screen, I suppose you could call it. And yeah, and it's quite a nice interior. I've always liked this style of interior that Trushonian seem to go for. Here's the cab, the key's missing. That's an old TV area. I believe it had a like a satellite or Freeview box in it at one point, so it actually had TV on while it was in service. I mean, talking about caring for your passengers, that's brilliant. Now this is some Kangar coach, and this is an AEC Swift here. I'm not going to show you around them because these are literally in pieces. This here is J511 GCD, another step entrance Dennis Dart dash bodywork. This one's kind of been left to rot, the bumper's fallen off, and I believe we're using it as a donor vehicle for 642 when we bought it. This one here is 502, another dash Dart that they have, ex-Stagecoach. Same as all the others. This one was done up. It is part of the preserve fleet, but it hasn't moved in a while. The last rally it went to was Southsea in 2016, and it hasn't moved since, which is a shame because it was done up, outside at least, with the inside. Doesn't look awful, but the poles definitely need redoing. And it's got the old Southdown logo on the front of it as well. So here is 641, the sister to 642. This one's been painted. It does actually look really, really nice. It's all rather shiny. It's got new destination displays and all of that. And it's basically just waiting to go and service this thing. I think they're just trying to get more of their current fleet back on the road because they're having a few issues with it. And then this one will go back out shortly after. And yeah, as you can see, it looks pretty nice. Birds have pooed all over it. But yeah, it's I'll be looking forward to seeing this one out, and I will try and get a video for you guys once it is on the road. Here are two Opteraleros. These aren't owned by Emsworth and District. They're just stored here. There's not much interesting about them. They're just Opteraleros, so little minibus things, nothing interesting. This here is, I don't even know what the hell this thing is. If anyone knows, tell me, but it's definitely quite rotten and definitely is not going anywhere for quite a few years. So need a lot of work going into that to get that on the road. And then here, Iveco Daily Unijet HPI 05 plate minibus. Looks like it's had a smashed window. And yeah, that's that. I think this one's also just stored here. Here is, no idea what this is. It's got loads of seats inside of it. Some old, really old Emsworth and District logo. Not really sure what this one is. Oh, JVG 332N. I think it's some kind of coach. Mid-engined, I'm guessing, or front-engined, because there's nothing in the back at all, unless it's been ripped out. Yeah, that one's definitely not going anywhere. This one here is J552 GCD, another Dart. There's loads of them here. I'm not even kidding, there's about, what's 5 here if I counted. This one was taken off the road because the diff went, and it's now been sat here so long that the engine's seized, so it definitely ain't going nowhere. Yeah, as you can see, it's all rusted, so it ain't ever starting again. And then here is a Bedford coach. I don't know much about this older stuff, so if you know, please tell me. It's NYH161Y, so it's definitely old. It's Bedford. Not sure what type of Bedford, but it's a Bedford, as far as I know. So yeah, that's a lot of the stuff here. Basically, here is just kind of temporary storage. Like all the stuff that they're not currently using in service tends to just stay up here. So a lot of it is left to rot, but I imagine that will be going back on the road. That will be on the road at some point, and 642 will also be on the road at some point, I imagine. But yeah, everything else here is either up for sale or will eventually rot and be scrapped, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, so that's the Emsworth and District Wesley Yard. I do hope you enjoyed my 500 subscriber special. If you want me to do another video like this at another depot, showing you around all the buses there, please let me know. I can get into the Stagecoach and Portsmouth depot if you'd like me to do that. And yeah, so that's the Emsworth and District Wesley Yard. I do hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. If you're new, subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. See you later.